a bass boat and headed to the lake. Gonna catch a big one and watch him swim away. Turn the radio as loud as it'll go. Hooked up with Steve and Deb is on the radio.
Okay guys, it's now time for the Okeechobee Fishing Report. So you guys out there on the water, put those power poles down. Listen, I'm going to give you some tips that's really going to help you this week. We've had a lot of south wind. This hurricane that came in up the coast created a lot of south wind here in South Florida. And Lake Okeechobee is such a big lake. There's always places that the wind is going to help you. With the south wind, one of the best areas you can be is on the south end of the lake, southeast side, all the way up the west side even. So there's a lot of water that's really protected. Sometimes you just need to get your map out, look at the wind direction, and see the areas that are going to be the most protected. It's really, really important to at least put yourself in a place where you have a chance to catch fish. When you end up in places where the wind's blowing really hard, blowing in, muddying the water up, your chances really, really drop. The beauty of Lake Okeechobee is just a 750 square mile pond. You might need to put your boat on the trailer and do a little driving, but get to the places where the wind is going to be your friend. And that's a big deal here on the Big O. The south end of the lake looks really good, really clear all the way to the outside. I'm really impressed with the way the water looks all the way to the outside, all the way out to Kramer Island, Pelican Bay, all these areas. There's so much water. It's a little confusing when you get out there because it all looks good. The next little tip I'm going to give you is the lure to pick to cover a lot of this water. Because like I say, they're not everywhere. Even though the water looks good, the fish aren't everywhere. So the lure of the week is a bruiser bait. It's called a crazy crawl. It's a little crawdad. One of my favorite lures. I can't tell you how many big fish I've caught on this thing. And there's 3 different ways you can rig this thing. I put it on the back of my chatterbait a lot. Back of the chatterbait, back of a swim jig. But one of my favorite ways to fish it is just rig it Texas style with a 3/16 or 1/4 ounce sinker. Just throw it out and just reel it like you would a swim jig. What makes this bait such a good bait is the fact that it's got little ridges on the outside of the claws, and it's always run straight. It will not turn over like a lot of baits. And those little ridges on the edge of those claws is what makes this thing so good. And that's why on the back of a chatterbait, man, nothing looks more natural than that on the back of a chatterbait. But another thing you can do with this bait also, you can use a 1/8 ounce sinker or one of these little belly weight hooks in like an 1/8 ounce. You can throw the crazy crawl out and buzz it like a horny toad across the top of the water. It's one of the best baits I've ever seen for doing that. So you can fish it 3 different ways. If you fish this bait, my favorite color is by far the summer crawl. It's got a little chartreuse in it. Everybody knows me, knows I like chartreuse on Lake Okeechobee. I think these fish really, really like things they can see really good. So the summer crawl is my favorite color. Been that way all summer long. But you can fish this bait, like I say, a lot of different ways. Get those power poles up and start covering some water. And when you catch one, power pole down and really start looking around. You may have found an area with a lot of fish. Those big schools of fish are getting ready to come in now in Lake Okeechobee. It's fall. The fish are getting ready to spawn. The next full moon, we're going to start seeing some fish spawning. You know, they spawn here 6 months out of the year, maybe longer. So that first wave is getting ready to come in, and this is one of the best baits to search for those little areas where these fish are coming in and getting ready to spawn. And you will get bit by some big fish. Keeping it simple, that's the best thing to do right now in Lake Okeechobee. Well, folks, you can power pole up now and go fishing. That's what I'm going to do.
This segment is brought to you by the good people at K&M Drugs, your local pharmacy, Joy Day and Medical Spa, Jimmy's Tire Center. They have all the tires you need and non-ethanol gas. Don't forget to pack your clubs. Call for a tea time at Clewiston Golf Course,